However, Ethan continued, aside from being married, our interests are intertwined through multiple companies. A divorce would be a disaster for our bottom line. If you used your head, you'd see how redundant your worries are. You've been with me for 5 years. I thought you'd learned how to analyze things by now. You should really settle down and try to learn a thing or two from Mia. Mia and I are the same age, 27. We both met Ethan in the same year, but that's where the similarities end. She comes from a family of intellectuals, a Stanford alum who is sharp, articulate, and always knows exactly what to say. I, on the other hand, come from a background as ordinary as they come. I was discovered on a reality talent show and dropped out of college to join the entertainment industry. The public's verdict on me has always been the same. She's a beauty, sure, but there's no soul behind those eyes. To be honest, back then, I actually thought Ethan would choose her. He paused for a moment, waiting for me to apologize and reflect on my behavior, just like I always did. But this time, I said nothing. The only sound on the line was the soft music playing in his background. After a beat, I asked, "You have me on speakerphone, don't you?" In our 4 years of marriage, one of our few real fights had been about exactly this. I had called him, wanting to be affectionate and playful, only to hear Mia laughing in the background. When I realized he had me on speaker, I was mortified and furious. I cried for hours and made him promise he'd never do it again. Back then, when things were still good between us, he had agreed. "Chloe," Ethan said, his tone turning defensive. He clearly remembered. "Mia had a few drinks at the business dinner. I'm driving and need the GPS, so it's fine. I was just asking," I said, my voice flat. I looked down at his signature at the bottom of the contract, bold, powerful, and both strange and familiar at the same time. "The contract is signed. I'll give it to my manager tomorrow." Ethan sounded satisfied. He was pleased that I wasn't making a scene about Mia and relieved that I was falling in line again. "You've always wanted to go to the Altai Mountains, right? Once this busy season is over, I'll clear some time to take you." "We'll see," I said, and hung up. 2 months later, Ethan and I reunited at the filming location. My manager dropped me off, while Mia dropped him off. Our cars pulled up from opposite directions, doors opening at the same time. He was in the middle of a conference call, looking sharp in a perfectly tailored suit, his profile flawless as he stood by the car. Mia, dressed in a navy-belted trench coat with her hair catching the wind, waited quietly by his side. I had to admit, standing together, they looked like a power couple, brilliant and perfectly matched. My manager didn't even glance at me. She rushed over to them with a wide, fawning smile. "Mr. Cole, Miss Hayes." Mia gave a slight professional nod, signaling for her not to interrupt the call, her eyes never even straying toward me. As the three of them stood there together, I quietly grabbed my own luggage. Our cars weren't far apart, but it felt like there was an entire galaxy between us. I wheeled my suitcase inside. 2 other couples were already seated on the sofa, one pair of singers and a non-celebrity couple. I greeted them with a smile. Through the massive floor-to-ceiling window, I could clearly see Mia leaning in, carefully buttoning Ethan's suit jacket. Her face was close to his chest, her long hair brushing against him, the intimacy of the gesture sharp enough to sting. The non-celebrity girl, who seemed like a straight shooter, pursed her lips and asked without hesitation, "Is she the reason you're getting a divorce?" I forced a smile. No, none of the 4 people in the room believed me. Their expressions were skeptical. A moment later, Ethan walked in, flanked by staff. He saw me and sat down beside me, looking slightly annoyed. "Why didn't you wait for me?" I picked up an orange from the table and began peeling it. I wanted to get a head start on the schedule so we wouldn't keep the crew waiting. He turned to look at me, a flicker of surprise in his eyes. Usually, whenever we were in public, I'd go out of my way to mark my territory. "For the first 2 rounds of voting, you have to firmly choose divorce," he whispered, giving me my instructions. "The turning point comes at the final vote. That's when you back down." I nodded and popped a slice of orange into my mouth. It was sweet, but it left a bitter aftertaste. The script my manager had given me was laughably